Now, I don't want any comments from anyone who's been on the camp walk, but have you ever been lost in the mountains? If there's mist, or if there's low cloud, or if it's dark, it's quite easy to do. Smartphones can fail, your GPS might run out of battery. That's when it's useful, like we were thinking about before, to have a compass. You need to find a way where you need to go. And can you imagine being lost in the mountains and having a compass sitting there in your pocket, but just leaving it there and carrying on in the same direction that you were heading? Doesn't it sound like a bad idea? Well, that's exactly what we see in the first response to Jesus' birth: indifference. The Magi, or the wise men, and by the way, we don't know how many of them there were. There were at least 3, we think, but there could have been more. They arrive in Jerusalem after Jesus has been born, quite a while after, in fact. They followed the Christmas compass all the way from the east. They start asking questions about this star and the Messiah, the King of the Jews, who has been born. Where is he? We followed the compass all the way here. Do you know exactly where he is? And the whole town gets quite worked up, as you might expect, these strange people arriving and asking all kinds of questions. And you notice something really interesting in verses 4 to 6. And if you think about it, I think you can see just how remarkable this is. With the uproar that this visit has caused, the chief priests and the teachers of the law, that's Bible experts, in other words, they're asked where the Messiah was supposed to be born. And here's the thing, they know where he was supposed to be born. He was to be born in Bethlehem. It was written in the book of Micah. They knew this. They could read it and they could find out. Bethlehem was a quiet, out of the way town or village, not too far from Jerusalem, where King David had come from. The Messiah had to be of David's family line. That's what the promise said, that he'd come in David's family, and so he'd come from David's town. So these experts, what did they do with this amazing knowledge that they had? What did they do with this information that they had? Well, I'm not about to blow your mind here. This isn't one of those instances where you find out something from the Bible that you've never noticed, that was staring right in the face, and then you just like, oh wow, I never saw that before. This isn't like that. I'm not going to show you something that you probably haven't seen before, but for all the things that we get right, or we get wrong, sorry, in our nativity plays, there's one thing that we get right. The chief priests and the teachers of the law aren't in it. They knew where Jesus was to be born, and they did nothing about it. They don't seem to care. They're happy with the way things are, and they're not going to follow this Christmas compass to where the King is. What about you? Maybe you've heard all this Jesus stuff before. You know, you've heard it Sunday after Sunday. Your mum and dads have told you. You've heard this all before. And are you just happy with the way things are? You don't want to change anything. You don't want to stir up any. You've been told about Jesus, but you don't want to do anything about it. Well, don't let indifference make you miss out on the best thing that ever happened.